this is Melissa from the Like a Breakfast Show, and today I'm going to be talking to the young racing car driver, Jayden Barihat. So hi Jayden, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Now, Jayden, starting from the start, what inspired you to get into racing?
So my dad is a rally champion himself. So, he's been rallying for many years now. And obviously, I grew up with all the cars in the garage and cars around me. So I think that's where the passion started.
And how old were you when you first got behind the wheel?
4. Yeah.
So he really did inspire you.
Yeah, we've been, I think we've shared the passion together. It's been fun, yeah.
And your dad is a massive supporter of you, isn't he? Because he's here with you now.
Yeah.
And originally you're from India, so you moved from India, you're now here in the UK, and your dad comes back and forth to stay with you here. How was that move for you? How was that transition?
Obviously it's a little difficult leaving home. Sometimes you do feel a little like you miss home, but you've got to do these things in order to make it. So yeah, I think it's a new normal now. We're going to be shifting and moving all around. UK is also not permanent, it's going to be temporary. So we're going to be moving all around the world depending on where I progress. So yeah, it's something I have to get used to, but so far it's been alright.
I guess everyone moves away from home, especially when they go to like university and stuff, but you just had to do it at a younger age.
Right, yeah. So I think racing drivers in general just have to do it everything at a younger age. The pressure that we also feel by everybody, the expectations we have to meet at a very young age. So yeah, I think, but as you grow and learn, you get, used to it.
And back in India, you were a star in India's X30 karting scene. Is it different driving here than it is in India?
Yes, because in India we don't really test or do much of testing, yeah. But here in UK and just Europe in general, everybody just does so much testing. They do, they're out so many days of the year driving. Like I said, they start at a very young age, and they're like thrice or 4 more times more number of drivers on the grid compared to us. So yeah, obviously the level of drivers are on a high level here, but I think we've done really well to be able to fight with them and challenge them.
Definitely, and the track must feel different as well, because in India it would be hotter, drier, whereas in the UK it's colder, it's wetter.
Yeah, that is one thing, especially this year. We just had so much wet running. We initially in the start of the year we had like an X amount of wet tires, but now we've almost run out of wet tires because that's how much we've used them up. But yeah, getting used to the conditions is a good thing driving the wet, because when you look at drivers who are in Italy and Spain, the drivers from the UK always have an advantage because of how good they are in the wet, because of how much they've done in the wet. So it's learning, but I like the tracks here.
So it's the only time the typical British weather actually is a good thing.
Exactly, yeah. You learn so much more. You're so much quicker.
So tell us about the F4 British Championships. What is it?
So basically, I'm sure everybody knows about Formula 1. So it is basically, like every other sport, you have a junior level. So you have the entry level, which is Formula 4, which I'm doing. So it's your first step into Formula cars. Then it's Formula 3, Formula 2, and then if you're lucky enough, Formula 1. But you say Formula 4 is a junior level, but really it's so competitive and everybody is so mature and so quick already. So to take it as a junior championship is kind of an understatement, but it is your junior most category.
And when you go from Formula 1 to Formula 3, is it because of age? Is it because of experience? What makes you move up the ranks?
Yes, one is definitely you need to be old enough. Second of all, it's to be honest, it's up to you when you make that call. If you're lucky enough to get a seat also. But yeah, when you're lucky, when you feel like you've accomplished enough in Formula 4, you can give it a shot at Formula 3. But yeah, the more you win, the more you've accomplished in Formula 4, the more it'll help you in Formula 3 and so on.
And you've been racing now for 2 years here? This is your second year, right? 2020?
Here? No, I just did 2 rounds last year of the F4 Championship, just the last 2 rounds. And so we like the championship a lot, and like I mentioned, the championship is held really nicely. It's really well done. So we thought, I think this is the championship to be driving with.
And you're part of a team. In fact, you're signed to Argenti. Do you meet the other teammates? Are you all one team, or how does it work?
Yeah, we're always together. We drive together. We do our data. We learn and talk to each other, discuss about what went wrong and what went well. Try to help each other out, but not too much.
Jaden, P3 in race 2, it looked tricky out there with the track, but of course, good to capitalise on the reverse grid.
Right, yeah. I mean, starting P4, we had an amazing start. Almost was in the lead for like a second or two. But yeah, I think just an awesome race. I think we had good pace as well. Kept up with the guys in front, and obviously I just played it smart. So that's why, we were able to bring it home. I did have contact in the middle of the race. I think something got bent, but we brought it back, got a podium, so I think we're really happy.
What happened with the contact? Who did you make contact with?
So basically I was sandwiched in between the road in Carlin and one of the Fortec guys, and I had to really slow it down, and I had nowhere to turn, and one of the other drivers tried to fit in, and I think he overshot, so he hit me in the rear, but luckily we caught it and didn't suffer from anything.
There looks a bit chaos at the restart. What happened there?
Yeah, that all happened in the restart, and I think it started raining a little bit more. Fog started to settle down during the race, but the restart was pretty chaotic. Everybody is bunched together, and in the wet, when everybody's bunched together, it's always chaotic. But lucky to make it out without anything.
And what can you do in race 3 later on?
Let's see. I mean, obviously qualifying wasn't great yesterday. We got the red flag on our fastest lap, so it didn't really count. We couldn't complete it. So we're starting from the back, but hopefully it's dry, and we can make some progress and push forward. And let's see what we can do.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All the best. P12 in race 1 at Donington. It looked a tricky race out there with the red flag. How would you assess things?
I mean, the red flag came into my advantage actually in this race because my car switched off before the red flag, the lights out, sorry. So I couldn't get the car started back up, so I came almost last. But in the 2 laps that we had before the safety car, I think I gained a lot of positions, but obviously the red flag. So we started, I think, it was 17th, but we had an amazing start. I think we gained 2 or 3 positions at the start, and we were able to keep with everybody in front, and 2 people made mistakes and we capitalized on their mistakes, and we're P12 now, and I think the car felt pretty good, and I'm pretty happy.
And of course this race started later in the day than what qualifying did earlier, so was there a big difference in the track temperature and the track grip as well?
I mean the car felt pretty different. It felt better actually, and it's kind of cold now, but there's sort of weird humidity, so the temperature's a little higher, but I think it was pretty good race, I think.
And what was it like trying to pass it there? Was it tricky with the dirty air?
Oh yeah, it was very tricky. I mean, if you look at the tires on my car, it's pretty grained out, pretty worn out, but it's obviously very tricky, and it was like a long train, so but I just made sure I kept a good distance and was sensible about it, so we made no mistakes, and we came home with, I think, a decent finish.
And what's it like managing the graining and the tyre deck out there?
So because in the initial stages where I think most of the scrubbing happened is because my teammate was behind and I was trying to catch up in front, so I couldn't really back off to take a cool down lap or coast lap, but so I think that's where the tires really degraded. But apart from that, I think when I was running sort of in my own clean air, I think that was a lot better, and I think it's not too difficult really. Just being smooth and trying not to scrub is, I think, the goal.
And what are you expecting from the 2 races tomorrow?
So we're starting P4 tomorrow, so I think I'm just going to try and do my best to keep it clean, bring home points, and maybe a podium, because it's so close. No one's really catching, so I'm just gonna look for a good start, clean race, and let's hope for podium.
And could you just say some words in your own language, please?